In the previous episode, we saw Jialin is Zero and his team had saved a little girl. Now, Lin's sister is getting mad at his brother. She is called by her brother to bring some clothes for the girl. She thinks that his brother has done something wrong and accuses him. She says, "You kidnapped a girl," and tells him to buy something for her. Lin explains that he didn't kidnap anyone. Now, Yong's men are coming from their backside. Zero is brilliant, that's why he counts their presence. Zero doesn't let them know and says that Mumu is a homeless girl, an orphan kid. By listening this, she calms herself down and diverts her attention towards the cute little girl. She loves her a lot and is still mad at her brother. Lin says that he also feeds him food. But she is furious because this meal is inappropriate for this child. She takes the girl to a shop to purchase some clothes for her. She offers her brother and his comrades to come, but they are not interested. We see the flashback scene where Dong tells their comrades that the girl is essential for Ayong and the corporation. She also reveals that they are chasing her and are not going to relax until they catch her. Zero says you are the dominant personality and can handle this matter, but Dong says that they will also chase me. Jan is also in this discussion and inquires in how much time we can handle this situation. Dong says they will soon send their professional serial killer to take the girl back from us. Scene switches to the present situation where Ayong's men are humble to Zero and his comrades. Zero tells them to show their true personality because he is fully aware of what they are. The leader of three of them says that he wants Dong because her name is on the wanted list. Furthermore, he also wants to take them with him for investigation. He also reveals the strict order from their master to bring them. Zero refuses to cooperate with them and says Dong and the particular girl will not go with him. It makes him mad and tells him not to blame him for the fight. They start fighting in the street where they brutally beat the D rank member in a second. Zero also says they are weak and cannot fight them back for a second. Meanwhile, Jan reminds them that Zero's sister will find them because they tell her to return within a minute. They run to the shop, but Zero's sister is furious because she has been waiting for them for so long and tells her to leave the topic and we should go from here. But Zero stops him by keeping his hand on his face. Zero doesn't want to make his sister worry that they are in danger. He says that we should go home and we can deal with other matters another day. His sister agrees and Zero asks about the little girl Momo. She arrives and is looking terrific in her beautiful new clothes. Zero's sister tells Zero that they can take Mumu to their home. She is already ready to pamper the child herself. Zero refuses, but his sister insists on keeping the child with her. Zero says this case was unsolved and we can't keep the child here, but she was not ready to leave the homeless child. She also emotionally blackmails his brother into that you are a hero, so you must protect people. Now Zero agrees and his friends also consider it the right decision. Jan says in Zero's ear that we can't forget what Dong says. He also commands Yan to send the message. Zero's sister doesn't like to talk in Zero's ear, but Zero makes an excuse. Zero also takes them and moves home. Scene changes, the president was mad at the D rank who are not eligible to teach the lesson he rank. At the same time, another person says his subordinates are prepared to deal with them. He is confident that his team can teach them a lesson. At night, we see a girl keeping an eye on a man. She also caught this man cautiously, but his head fell. She screams by watching many statues here. So many heads are gazing at her and making her scared to them. Jan comes here and she penetrates the device into his mouth forcefully. Jan says that this toothbrush is not complete yet. She thinks that Jan made fool out of her intentionally. In madness, she picks his plasma cleanser and attacks him. She uses it on him despite his refusal to do this. With his action, Jan's clothes remove and he also calls him an elephant. She is about to faint by watching him naked, so she jumps from the glass window and decides not to repeat this task. Jan is surprised that this girl has come to his house like a thief. She is also calling him a pervert. That is weird. The scene switches to Zero's house where Zero wants to sleep and her sister is taking a bath with Mumu. But someone is keeping an eye on the girl because he must take the girl back. Zero is on his back and a strange man with a sword in his hand attacks him. But Zero, like a hero, dodges his attacks. He is a little disappointed because he has to fight with the ugly villains. A strange man tells him that he belongs to the A rank and has all the abilities to defeat him. In a blink of an eye, Jan attacks him and he is injured, but he doesn't lose hope. He is injecting Berserker's serum and successfully achieving the power of S rank. He is proud to be robust and this speed is remarkable. But Zero attacks him and cuts his hand. He generates his hand, but all is in vain because Zero makes him a loser with a single punch. Zero is surprised by how he can defeat an S-ranked person with a single punch. Zero asks him to deliver the message to his master to stay away from the girl because she is under his protection. This strange man is obstinate and says he will return to fight after gaining his power. He says he will finish his family. That thing makes Zero furious. This person says you can't kill me because it's not allowed. But Zero kills him with one attack because he casts an evil eye on his family. Zero says it will not happen again with his loved one. In the next scene, Zero's sister inquires where he went. He says he was in the toilet and she sleeps. Zero is watching something and remembering Dong's words. She said that after 3 days, Ayong would contact the corporation. This is also an opportunity to stop them from ruining the Heroes Association, and it will be the biggest battle. She also asks for his help. In the present, Zero says that peace will be restored soon. In the following scene, we see Dong telling them that we need assistance to fight back against these monsters. Dong also introduces them to a rank hero, Zayo. She also exposes that the Muscle Alliance is going to help them. The most important thing is that they need a sample of Berserker's serum to get the power of S rank. It will also help them to defeat the enemy and to arrest our young. This was the same sample that last night's monster injected himself to fight with Zero. She also warns if serum will expand in the market, then we have to face a severe threat, so there is no chance of failure. Zayo is overconfident and says that they are losers. Zero calls her Shorty, which makes her furious. Jen whispers to Zero to leave her because she is just a kid. Zayo kicks him on his back to call her kid. Dong calms her down by saying that Zero is the only person who can break the defense of Ayong. Now Zayo points at Yin and inquires about him. She also tells him to go back home. Yin doesn't want to return because Ayong snatches his information to protect his family. He was here to support them. Dong tells them to stop the fight and reveals that 13 have been eliminated from the president's headquarters. Further, they can't lose this mission for personal disputes. Otherwise, 13 efforts and hard work will be wasted. Zayo says not to create complexity for me. Yin says that I will show you what I can do. They are ready to fight with Ayong and get back the city's peace. In the following scene, they are keeping an eye on Ayong. Muscle Alliance is praising Zero's muscles and he shouts at them. Meanwhile, they see a helicopter. Ayong welcomes Mr. Ken and the girl who attacked Jen's house. Muscle Alliance attacks them without keeping consideration of the signal of Dong. Jan is also running to attack and Dong is shouting because she didn't give them any sign to attack. Zayo tells Yen that he stayed away from this fight and calls him a coward. Yen also wanted to take part in the fight but couldn't. Ayong also has seen them and tells this man to fight with them. A fight starts between Ayong's men and Muscle Alliance. Mr. Gan sits in the helicopter and is about to leave. Dong calls Zayo flying with the ice wing and she attacks him. The helicopter destroys by the attack and falls into the forest. Ayong, who was watching the whole situation, uttered the word hunter. A sniper shoots at Zayo, breaks her wings and falls. Yin runs to help Zio. Dong says you have managed to take Hunter on your side with money. She also reveals the worth of money. This hunter is A rank hero whose specialty is omniscience. Ayong adds that this hunter is unmatchable in the Edge City. So Dong changes the plans and sends Zero to deal with Mr. Gan. Mr. Gan says that you are the one who makes Minas defeat, and he pretends not to know him. At this time, Mr. Gan's supporter girl attacks him, but Zero compels her to go back to her master. Mr. Gan praises him, and Jan joins Zero by saying that it's not appropriate to fight two people with one man. Jan and the girl start to fight. On the other hand, Zero also attacks Mr. Gan. The girl disappears into the forest and wants to attack Jen from the back. But Jen was cautious. He dodges her attack and hit her with his weapon. After this, Yan goes to help Zio, but Zio is not ready to accept his help, and Hunter attacks them. She stops his shooting by creating an ice wall, but Hunter shoots again, breaks the ice wall, and pushes her back. Yan saves her by catching her in his arms and says that she is not a burden. He takes her to the tree and also calculates his location. He tells her to attack where he will ask her to shoot. Zio does as Yan says to her, and they defeat the hunter by shooting and freezing him. In the next scene, Dong is fighting with Ayong, and now Ayong proves to be too powerful. She is ready to sacrifice her life to stop him. Dong attacks him back to back but can't even scratch him. She decides to use her full force, but he punches her stomach and attacks her with his elbow. She falls to the ground in pain. The scene changes. Yen and Zion are happy that they have defeated the hunter, but he is in front of them. Hunter uses an axe before field that entraps her. Now Yen has fallen from the tree and Hunter is hitting Yan. Zio is surprised how he can use the axe force field because only government uses it to capture criminals. Hunter clears her doubts by saying that it is the gift from Ayong. The power that he uses on Zio is for tormenting this hero. The scene switches where the girl proves to be powerful as compared to Jan. Apart from this, Zero was also fighting with Mr. Gan. In the following scene, Ayong asks Dong, "Are you feeling remorse for fighting with me?" She then replies that hero never feels regression. Instead, someone will come to defeat him. Ayong makes fun of her friends who attack without thinking about how they can defeat him. Dong also tries to attack with an icy hand, but he breaks and hits her head on the floor. Here the hunter is going to hit Zio. Scene changes where Jan is also injured and Mr. Gan makes his punching attack on Zero. Ayong says to Dong that there are no heroes in the entire world who can fight with him. Dong is still hopeful, but he holds her from her neck and she is swinging in the air. On the other hand, Mr. Gan injects the drug into his body because his moves were useless for Zero. Mr. Gan becomes more powerful and says that he will make Zero die. It doesn't matter how he defeats his previous enemies, Zero attacks him back to back. He is lying on the floor and bubbles are coming out of his mouth. The scene changes to Jen and the girl. Jen tells her to sort out this matter through communication, but the girl is not ready to talk. Instead, she considers that Jan has a new trick to save his life. Jan also offers a company in which she can get many benefits. He offers to live the life of a hero and go towards her. She tells her not to come near her, leaves her dagger, and starts weeping by keeping her head on his chest. The scene changes when Hunter still beats Yan and Zio encourages him to rise. Hunter says that you are going to join him after death. Yan tells him to stay away from the girl and throws something at him. Hunter punches his stomach and throws him away. Yan offers him double money, but the hunter is not ready to betray his boss. When Hunter is about to shoot Zio, Yan punches Hunter's face and says, "I said not to hurt her." With his punch, the hunter wasn't hurt little but got angry. He punches him in the face and Zio tells him to go away, but he wanted to face the hunter till his last breath. Gan wishes to press the device, but Hunter again attacks him and blood comes out of his mouth. Zio is weeping by watching Yan's miserable condition. Hunter attacks Zayo when she makes a cross sign with her ice power that kills the hunter. Zayo calls Yen to wake up and cry because she thinks he has died. In the next scene, Ayong understands that his man has died. He threatens Dong that he will kill her without thinking she belongs to Dong's family. But Dong came here with full planning. She calls Zero to help her, who arrives here by flying in the air. Zero punches his face and throws him away. He has turned the table with a single punch. He also supports her in standing up and asking that she is okay. Dong praises his power because it is beyond her imagination. Ayong gets up and is ready to fight, but he has lost his armor because of the punch. Dong tells him not to escape because he can only move his body but is deprived of his extraordinary power. Ayong injects the drug into his body. He becomes powerful and attacks them. Now he has gotten S rank powers to beat them. But Zero disappears from the moment, and Dong is worried about him. Ayong tells her not to run and attacks her with his remarkable powers. At the same time, Zero saves Dong from his attack and attacks Ayong with his weapons. Ayong is bewildered about how he can defeat the powers of the S level. He realizes that he belongs to the S level, but decides not to lose hope and fight with Zero until he dies. Ayong uses martial arts, but Zero dodges his punches easily and throws him in the air, while Ayong again attacks him, but Zero dodges it again and attacks him professionally. Jan is coming here with the full support of the girl, where both see a fireball in the sky. Dong inquires whether he has killed him, but Jan says he will wake up and gain his senses within a few days. She also asks if he belongs to the S level. Zero then replies that none took any test of my powers, so I don't know which rank I belong. Meanwhile, Jen comes here with this girl. Zero says that I think you both hate each other. He throws him away by listening to this, and Jen asks for Zero's help because he is injured. Zero and Jen are smiling and tell Dong to throw a party because they have won the battle. Zayo has also arrived with Yin, whose condition is pathetic. She calls them to help him. The next scene is placed in the hospital where the newscaster reveals that C-Class is involved in corrupt activities. Yan is surprised at how they know about it. Yan says that the Ayong family is huge, then it's not a big deal if they know. Zayo is making him drink soup and both are feeling shy. Yan says that it's not appropriate to hide our qualities because they are heroes. Chen, who is also in the same hospital room, says that it's better to hide the fame and qualities as Zero. The girl is also serving Jan and putting food in his mouth. Zero arrives and inquires about their health. Yan envies him because he is perfectly alright. Zero tells them to rectify it soon and tease Yan with his name. As a result, he yells at him to call him by his proper name. Zero inquires about Dong, who is not in this room, and he didn't meet with him for a week. Dong appears from his behind and flirts with him. She tells if you feel for me, you should confess it right now. But he feels shy. He says your skin has become thicker because we haven't met for a week. As they have won the grave battle, Dong tells them she has prepared special training for them by talking with the Hero Association. Jan and Yen are ready to participate, but Zero thinks that he doesn't need any training because he is strong enough. Other team members insist that he should participate because he can develop his powers, but he is still not ready for this. Zayo becomes angry and informs him that he considers himself powerful by beating only 2 A-class people. But there are many strong people in the 8 class where you have to face the S class and even SS class influential people. Zero is overconfident about his strength. He says you cannot defeat me even if you attack me together. Zayo accepts this challenge and they are all on the roof to beat Zero. Zero asks them are they finally about to fight with Heel because they recently recovered. They are ready to face him and Zero decides to use his few techniques on them. Zero makes fun of them when they all attack him without any cooperation. All are mad because Zero is teasing them. Zio by mistake kicks on Jan's face and attacks Zero, but Zero dodges her attack and punches in her stomach. View catches her and Zero says he didn't punch her intentionally. He also thanks View for holding her. View says welcome and both Dong and View attack him. Dong creates an ice tower with her power but he scatters it with his punch. Zero says that these powers are useless in front of him. Dong uses her special attack that none can escape from. She freezes him with an ice field but he breaks it quickly and View again attacks him. But it is all in vain. Jan is sneaking from here when Zero inquires about him. He also beats Chen, who is ready to surrender knowing he can't fight with Zero. Zero says goodbye and moves to his house. Dong says that we can't defeat him, so it's better we let him go. Dong tells them to pack their bags because this afternoon they have to go for training. They disagree with this decision because their wounds still hurt and they go. In the following scene, Zero's sister is mad about bringing the dog to her house. Zero brings this dog when he is coming back to pick up Mumu. Zero's sister has not permitted to keep the dog with them, but Mumu and the dog make a cute face that compels her to keep it with them. Now Zero's sister is going to her work with the dog. Watching the car, she thinks that the rich man had come here. She also wants to increase Dog's intelligence to keep an eye on her brother. She communicates with Dr. Kin, who tells her to do her experiment because she can't work with him today. In the room, Dr. Kin apologizes to President for Ayong because he cannot cure him. Dr. Kin also says that he has lost his thinking ability and also facing the disorder. He also recommends to visit another doctor. But President kills Ayong because he doesn't need Ayong and he proves to be trash for him. When President is about to go, another man appears with a smile. This person's name is Ding Yang, and he inquires about the worst condition of Ayong. President tells him to stay away from this matter because he needs to deal with Dong, who has caused lots of trouble for him. Ding Yang is also here for Dong, and he tells the president not to think about this girl. Dr. Kin asks, "Why do you come here?" Ding Yang gives him Dr. Masoli, who will help him with his project. Dr. Kin wanted to refuse, but he knows the consequences, so he doesn't speak. Ding Yang goes from there, and Dr. Masoli is with Dr. Kin. In the next scene, all have come after training and Zero is waiting for them. All are scolding in, and Zero is thankful because they all are alive after training. Dong again flirts with him, but Zero doesn't take her seriously. Zero thinks about what has happened to her these days. Meanwhile, another person arrives and calls Zero his teacher. Zero pretends he doesn't know him and the person says to guide him. Zero tells him to go from here and he compels him to teach him to become a hero. Dong says that the new president is about to come. So, all are watching the president giving a speech. Yan says in Zero's ear that he looks like Ayong's family member. He is Ding Yang, who has become the Hero Association president. A strange person says that I should meet with the president to know about my power level, but all again start beating him. Dong meets with him and inquires if he had come for her. But then Yang had come here for another purpose. He also asks about preparation and she gives a satisfactory answer. Ding Yang holds her jaw and says your friends can't save you from me. Dong starts weeping and says she will solve her problems herself, and everyone approaches her. Ding Yang offers Zero to join their family by watching his powers, but he rejects his offer. Ding Yang says that you will be killed if you don't join, and the Dong family's doors are always open for you. Zero says that if you want to kill, then try it, and he pisses him off. Ding Yang uses his mental ability that compels everyone to bend their knees except Zero. He says that energy level is still low and both are ready to fight. And here the episode ends. Hit the like button if you enjoyed the video and subscribe the channel.